Okay, good evening, good evening. Welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. And I am always so proud of everyone for whom this is their first time. You've taken the first step towards self-healing. And I am also very, very proud of those who has come again. That is where the work lies, is in the what's called messy middle. The middle is where doubt lies, is where pain is, where we're doing the hard work without the excitement or seeing the end of the tunnel yet. That's where the hard work is. And if you've come again, that means that you've decided to persist and continue to show up for yourself. And I'm so proud of you for doing that, for doing this hard work. Thank you. As always, this call does not contain any medical advice, and your participation is entirely voluntary. You are free to participate or not, and stay or leave at any time that you want, although I hope you all stay and you find this beneficial. And we ask for confidentiality and mutual respect. So with that, we're going to start with our opening prayer. And today, we're going to pray for healing, because that's what we're here to do. Dear God, dear universe, dear higher power, thank you for bringing us here together today on this day of another day of our journey through life, through challenges, including pain. But we thank you for all experiences that you send our way, for the joy, for the love, for the ease, for the success, for the times when we feel strong and powerful. But we also thank you for the times when we feel weak, when we feel like we don't know why this is happening, when we're doubting your ways, when we're not sure if we can do this. Thank you, God. Thank you for all of this, because ultimately we know that this is part of a bigger plan that we may not always understand, and everything you're sending our way is in our best benefit, including the struggle, including the doubt, including the pain. And again, whether you believe in God, regardless of what you call God, I strongly believe there is a higher power that's guiding us through life. And there is a purpose to everything that's happening to us. And that purpose is our best benefit, your growth, your healing. So thank you, God, for guiding us through this wonderful and tumultuous journey of life. Amen. What we're going to do today is talk about feelings. I told you last time that we were going to talk about thoughts and feelings, okay? This is mind, and I also say heart, even though it's not commonly said mind, heart, body medicine, but mind-body medicine or mind-body connection. But I'm also calling it mind and heart because there is a strong emotional component to our well-being, to our pain and healing. In that emotional part, the messages from the heart part of it come through our feelings, even though all of that really resides in your brain. No, all of that is really truly your brain, but some of the messages from your brain come in the form of thoughts. Some of the messages come in the form of feelings. In those of you for whom this is not the first time, I sometimes use the distinction that has been used in other literature. By the way, I forgot to say that everything I teach, I base on neuroscience. Okay, so this is as scientific as it gets. So in some other types of literature, focusing on neuroscience and behaviors and organizational outcomes and medicine and healing, sometimes the distinction is upper brain and lower brain, and upper brain is the thinking brain, lower brain is the feeling brain. Okay, it is all part of your brain, and all of that is designed ultimately for your health and protection, okay, and safety. So all the thoughts and all the feelings we have are ultimately coming from your brain for self-protection, okay? So we don't want to dismiss it, even if the feelings and thoughts are negative or painful or difficult. We don't want to ignore them because they're important messages coming from your brain, designed to keep you safe and healthy, and they're ultimately there to signal something important you need to know. Okay, the trouble is that we don't always go deeper to try to understand those thoughts and feelings and where they come from, because what happens is that we've developed certain thinking and feeling patterns through life, literally from the day we were born, or maybe even before. Sometimes we're developing patterns that we are then repeating in new situations as we get older and encounter new problems and new situations. We're still using the same patterns that our brain has learned in the past. And later in life, those patterns may no longer be beneficial to us, because your brain wants to keep things simple to maximize efficiency and use as little energy as possible on understanding new situations. So it's learning a pattern that wants to repeat all the time for the rest of your life. Okay, brain is kind of blind like that, although it can upgrade the pattern if you put effort into it. Okay, but your brain doesn't want to put effort into things. It wants to keep it simple because that's what makes you feel safe. You've developed that pattern in the past, so you've proven it, so it doesn't want to rethink the old patterns. So patterns are thinking patterns and feeling patterns. Okay, we talked about thoughts in the last call, and what we did was we talked about some of the difficult things going on, whether it's related to life in general, it's related to your current situation with chronic pain, or anything else that seems like it's adding, makes the pain worse. We had an exercise where each one of us identified those thoughts, and then we flipped the negative thought into a positive. Okay, and then we found evidence to why the positive thought might be true. Okay, and your invitation was to continue to practice those positive ways of thinking, because the positive way of thinking is what opens up new solutions. But the catastrophic one, the one where you know things are gonna be bad, is what keeps you in the current cycle of pain and stress. So that's what we did last time. Okay, and I'm curious if you want to raise your hand how many of you have practiced it at least once over the last 2 weeks? Thank you. I am so excited. So we'll debrief openly a little bit later, but often, Miss Caroline, yes, thank you. I'm so excited. Okay. So what happens? Okay. What happens when we try to challenge the negative beliefs and thoughts? Okay. Remember, they're there to keep you safe. Okay. But what happens when you try to challenge them and say, maybe it's safe to try something new. Maybe it's safe. I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna just, pretend like it's safe, even if I don't believe it. I'm gonna pretend like the bad thing is not gonna happen, or that I'm gonna handle it when it happens. I'm gonna manage it. I'm gonna come out okay. What happens when you try to challenge your safety thoughts is that your brain might go into overdrive and say, yeah, you can think those thoughts for 2 minutes, but don't you try to actually believe it. Don't you try to actually go there, because I know that didn't end up well last time. And I don't care if you're happy or healthy or feeling good. I just care that you're safe. I just care that you're alive. And I'm going to do everything to bring you back to the things that to keep you safe. So this is where the feelings part come into play. Okay, that's when all kinds of feelings are gonna come up. Okay, and today we're gonna talk a little bit about those feelings. I'm going to explain this before we practice. I'm gonna explain this to you now. Okay, so the 3 general categories of feelings that we will focus on here are based on something you may have heard somewhere in the media or in the literature called polyvagal theory. If you heard about polyvagal theory, wave on your video, on the camera. If you have not heard it, don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about this over the course of our meetings, but I'm going to give you a brief introduction today. Okay, so polyvagal theory is based on research into the autonomic nervous system. Okay, autonomic nervous system is the part of your brain, part of the nervous system that's responsible for your survival feelings, the simple feelings, okay, the basic feelings. And it goes completely unconscious. And autonomic nervous system has 2 branches, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. I'm sure most of you are familiar with those terms. Sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight, the stress response, the one that makes you run away from danger. The parasympathetic is the one that keeps you calm. This is, you're safe, you're okay, you can relax. So polyvagal theory states that the sympathetic nervous system is not just the relaxation part of your responses, but it is also part of your protective mechanism. So there's 3 main states that emotionally where we can be in. Okay, the first state is called ventral vagal. Okay, ventral vagal. So that's the part of your vagus nerve. That's the part of the parasympathetics, the calming, soothing part of your nervous system, where you feel completely safe and good and thriving, and you are, you're feeling safe, you're feeling creative, you're feeling curious, you have compassion, all the wonderful things, all the love things, love for yourself, love for the world. You feel warm, you feel connected with yourself, maybe connect with someone else in your life, maybe a pet, maybe a person, maybe nature, maybe just the world, universe. You feel good, you feel like you belong. Okay, that's the part of life where things are great. I'm not dealing with too much stress. Okay. Now, the next general category, and there's flow to this, by the way, it's not all one or the other, but there's flow, there's in between. But the next part, let's say something scary happens. There's a danger, there's stress, there's intrusion. The next main response is going to be fight. So you can say, okay, fight or flight. Okay, that's your sympathetics. Okay, that's the second part of your autonomic nervous system. That's this stress response. So this is where you're going to be wanting to fight or flight. Okay, you're scared. You feel threatened. You feel in danger. And the feelings in that state are going to be anxiety, irritability. Okay. Feeling overwhelmed, feeling restless. There's a lot of energy in this state. Okay, you're feeling, your thinking is going to feel clouded. It's going to be quick. It's going to feel agitated, nervous. Sometimes you can feel some dizziness, lightheadedness. You want to have the impulse to fight, either fight to protect yourself. You're feeling maybe aggressive, or you might be feeling aggressive but wanting to run away. Okay, so that's the sympathetics. So in general, in typical day-to-day type dangers, you might be noticing that you're feeling like really irritated or angry, or wanna punch someone, or you're like really angry and irritable with people, or you wanna yell at people. Okay, you're gonna maybe feel like you're having these high mood swings, like get away from me, get out of here, or I wanna, it's gonna be a high energy state. Okay, but those responses are not gonna feel measured, are gonna feel very impulsive and instinctual, and again, high energy. Okay, so that's the second main category. Okay, so that's your sympathetics. And the third one is going to be the second part of your vagus nerve. So that's why polyvagal, because the distinction between two different states of your vagal nerve mediated symptoms is the what's called dorsal vagal, and that's the freeze response. So we had calm, safe, soothing, healing, connected. Number one, the top one. Everything's going well, I feel safe. Number two, I don't feel safe, sympathetic. Fight or flight, run away or fight. Okay, high energy, angry, impulsive, and so on. And the third one, when you feel like fighting is not gonna work and you start to feel hopeless. Okay, you give up. Okay, that's your dorsal vagal. Okay, freeze. I'm gonna just stay here and let it happen. Okay, whether it's danger, threat, whether that means bad things, I'm just giving up. Okay, too much, I cannot even fight. That's the sad withdrawal, lethargy, depression. The sympathetic was anxiety, restlessness, impulsiveness. This is going to be depression. Okay, no motivation to even fight. Okay, giving up, essentially giving up state. Okay, you're gonna feel like, in the previous state you wanted to do a million things to combat the things that were irritating you, and here you're gonna be like, I don't even have the energy to do the simple things. I don't even care. Let it, let the pain come, let the pain be there. Sometimes you may feel a bit dissociated from yourself. You feel disconnected, okay, from yourself, your people around you. You don't even want to talk about it. You feel like it doesn't even matter, okay? So once again, a recap, we're talking about polyvagal theory based on the fact that your overall emotional states come in these three main categories, okay? The health, safe, connected, thriving state, and then unsafe comes in two stages: fight or flight, or freeze. Okay, the freeze one is the last one. Okay, that's when you give up and you don't even have energy to fight. In our day-to-day life, you can potentially relate to these in different situations. Okay, what we want is to be fluid. Okay, we don't want to be necessarily always in the beautiful life is great stage, the ventral vagal thriving, because life does bring stress. Okay, stress isn't always bad. Stress is sometimes good. It's okay. And sometimes we do need to react to things that are scary, but we don't want to be stuck. Okay, we don't want to be stuck in any of those things. We want to be able to recover, and we want to have strategies how to recover from these different stages and states that we're in. So what I'm going to, first of all, I want to do a little poll and ask you all which state you're in today or right now. How many people, if you are not on camera, you can, and if you know how to do the thumbs up on your Zoom, there's a button on there at the bottom of the chat called react, and if you click on it, there's one option to say at the top to do an emoji, and there's a thumbs up emoji. So if you know how to use that, I'm very curious to know how many of you right now are feeling like you could be in the ventral vagal state, where you're feeling calm and safe and connected with yourself. You're feeling good. You're feeling peaceful. How many of you are feeling like that right now? Miss Elizabeth, Dr. Dawson. Anybody else feels good? Okay, so we have two. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Miss Caroline, thank you. Okay, wonderful. How many of you are recognizing that you might feel stress? You might be in the fight or flight state. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're literally fighting. Miss Ivanda, thank you. But feeling irritable, angry, high energy, overwhelmed, upset, irritable. How many of you feel in that high energy, upset state? Anybody else? Miss Judy, thank you. Okay, so you're in that fight or flight state. Okay. How many of you feel like you might be in the dorsal vagal state, in the lethargy, feeling maybe more depressed, low energy, tired? Anybody? Okay, and Miss Elizabeth, yes. Mr. Dexter, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate your vulnerability. So appreciate you being open and honest. That means so much. Thank you. Yes, okay. I want you to know that it is normal to feel all of these, Miss Carla. Okay, okay. See, and I know that every single one of us fluctuates through these stages throughout the day and throughout our week and through our month. Okay, we fluctuate through all of these. Even in the course of the day, you might be feeling great in one moment, and then something happens and you go to the next state. Okay, when it's appropriate, it is fantastic. That's how your brain is designed to work. Okay, that's what it's designed to do when it's appropriate, because again, there are stresses in life. Your brain is supposed to do all these things. But when it is too much, too long, that's when it becomes unhealthy and it gets you stuck. Okay? You can't get out of it when the threat is no longer there, or when the threat wasn't really a threat, but was more of a trigger. Okay? That's when it's not healthy. So, this is where we talk about the feelings. Okay? This is going to feel to you like this is going to come to you as a feeling. Okay? You might feel joyful and excited and great and peaceful, or you might feel angry and upset and mad and frustrated. It's gonna come as a feeling, or it might come and anxious, or it might be feeling sad, feeling depressed, feeling low, feeling dissociated, disconnected, like it doesn't matter. And all the various thoughts in our upper brain are going to come in to match your feelings. Okay? They're going to come in to match your feelings. You're going to say, I'm feeling sad and depressed. And then your thoughts are going to come, yes, because this is never going to get better. Because I am not going to be okay when this, when my pain gets worse. So your thoughts will come in to match your feelings. Your feelings are going to be more powerful than any rational thought, any creative thought. Your feeling are gonna control which way your thoughts are gonna go. Okay, but not for you, because you are here, and you are here to challenge this in order to thrive, in order to use your nervous system to your advantage, and to thrive and to be healthy. So, so here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. We're going to practice. So we're going to learn two different practices. So far, we've learned only one somatic practice on how to change your feelings. Okay, we've only learned one, and that's deep breathing. Okay, and that's a simple one. It's a great one, but it's limited. It doesn't do all the work. It doesn't always do all the job. So we have to have other tools. Different things work for different people. So because our thoughts match our feelings, when we're feeling a certain way, it's going to be important for you to recognize which state you're in, and then practice some of these somatic practices. And then you're going to see if, when your feelings change, if your thoughts are going to also change a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do some of that practice in a little bit after I teach you those somatic exercises. So, we're going to start with a somatic exercise for the dorsal vagal state. That's the low energy state, the freeze state. Because it's a low energy state, the exercise for that is an upregulating exercise, okay, or practice or activity. Okay, it's an upregulating activity. And the activity is called an open hum. Listen to this video, and then we're going to practice.
Sit in, inhale through your nose for 2 counts, and then exhale in 1 breath while saying These vocalizations will move through your body, through vibration, this energy, energizing you, soothing you, and helping you come into the present, into the here and now, helping you feel connected to your body, connected to your mind, and connected to the space that you're in now. Counts, and then exhale in one breath while saying, find a comfortable place to sit in. Inhale through your nose for 2 counts, and then exhale in one breath while saying,
Okay. So this is called an open hum. When you're feeling low, when you're feeling that state of lethargy, depression, low energy. Once again, we're gonna inhale, take a deep breath in, and then vocalize as you're exhaling. I'm gonna do it one more time. So again, inhale. Yeah. Let's do it again, because I think that most people feel a little bit weird the first time they try it. Okay, so I want you to get past that weird feeling. Okay, just do it. Okay, who cares? Just do it all the way. Okay, again, breathe in and be as loud as you want to be. So put that in your repertoire. Open hum. Okay, when you're feeling low. Okay, next we're going to practice 2 exercises for when you're feeling in the sympathetic fight or flight mode. Okay, the first one is called physiological sigh. Okay, so let's listen. By the way, everybody can hear the recording, right? Yes? Yes? Okay. So let's listen to the guidance, okay? The steps for this, and then we're going to practice.
A comfortable place to sit in. Inhale slowly through your nose, and in the same breath, inhale quickly the remaining air, and then exhale as if blowing through a straw with your mouth at the same time collapsing your body forward. Notice how this feels. If this practice feels good, repeat it up to 3 times, taking a nice long rest in between of up to a minute. Again, inhaling through your nose, quick inhale at the end, exhaling, blowing out the air as if through a straw, collapsing forward. And then noticing how you feel, noticing the powerful effect of this practice in bringing you into your body, helping you instantly feel relaxed and soothed, accessing that ventral vagal state. feeling every muscle relaxing with every breath, feeling the weight of your body into the surface beneath you, melting, and noticing how different you feel already.
Okay, we're gonna stop at that. Okay, we're gonna have one practice for each state, one new practice. So let's do this one again. Physiological side. Take a deep breath in and then slowly blow the air out as if you were blowing through a straw, and then let your body collapse. Let your head and trunk collapse and drop down. So deep breath in and then breathe out through like you're blowing through a straw. Take a break for a minute and then do it again. Literally, you're blowing off steam. Let's try one more time. Take a deep breath in. So I want to take a pause again and ask, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? And maybe you can, why don't we debrief a little bit? So those of you who said you were feeling anxious, angry, irritable, upset, mad, high energy, would anyone want to share how you felt after doing the physiological sigh exercise? How are your feelings? How did it change your mood?
I felt much more relaxed.
Were
But
you,
I
you
did
were
what you did, and
okay?
I felt more relaxed.
Wonderful. You see how the change in your mood and your feelings is so pretty much. I mean, you noticed the change right away.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad. Anybody else would like to share if they noticed anything, how they felt, what they did? Those of you who have all upset, the high energy, the anxiety. Anyone else? Okay, what about the dorsal vagal responses? Those of you who felt low energy, sad, depressed, hopeless maybe, and you did the open hum. What did you notice? How did you feel? If you don't want to share, anybody would like to share?
Hi, Doc. I will. Um, I think it's too early for me to tell. I could kind of feel an uplifting mood, but I just think it's gonna take some reps and sets for me, just repeatedly performing the uh, open hum. So reps and sets for me, but I think it's going to be helpful. I just would like to practice it more. But thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for sharing this. Thank you so much. I love this comment because we might, like Miss Judy, you might feel immediately some change, but it may not be instant. It might not be profound, and you do have to be open emotionally. Like you have to be kind of open to it. You have to be ready for it. You have to want to, you kind of have to believe it, that this is real. Mr. Dexter, I'm curious, what state are you in emotionally? Like, do you feel like this is, real? This is gonna work? This is, like, do you really, does this really can this really, help? Were you having any thoughts of that nature before the exercise or during the exercise?
Well, I felt optimistic about it during the exercise. I have not performed this exercise or participated in this type of exercise before, so I felt optimistic about it, and it uh, felt good briefly. I just would like to see again after repeatedly performing the exercise, see what feeling I'm going to have, but I do look forward to it. Um, Again, like this is my first time seeing the open hum type exercise, so I do look forward to it. It did make me uh, feel better in the moment.
Awesome. 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 Yes. This is not end all be all by any means. This is not a magic trick to all of a sudden solve, all the problems. It's a tool. It's a tool that I want you to have for the mood you're in, for the state you're in, to start the process. Now, to start the process of healing, of recovery, of lifting yourself out of the state you're in, little by little, slowly. And that when you change how you feel, your thoughts will follow. Okay? And when your different thoughts follow, that changes your physiology, but then it also changes the actions you're going to take. No? And ultimately, it's those repeated new actions, new beliefs, new thoughts that are going to take you to where you want to be. No? Feeling better, being able to be more active, feeling more optimistic and hopeful, about your life, about your pain, about where the pain is going to be or what's going to become. So all those kinds of things. So I just wanted to teach you today about the polyvagal theory, the different feeling states that you may experience, and how to respond to it when you're feeling stuck in a certain state. Okay. And we usually do some journaling in these sessions. But today, instead of journaling, since we are already coming up on time a little bit, I'd like you to take a couple minutes. Let's do 5 minutes, and just sit back and relax, and let's practice self-awareness. Let's practice more awareness of how you're feeling. Okay, those thoughts and feelings become so automatic because they're all mediated by the subconscious part of your nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, that we often go on autopilot and we don't even know how we're feeling until it's after. So it is so important to practice that mindfulness where you just tune into your own body and your feelings. So what I would like to invite you to do right now is to sit comfortably, sit back in your chair and just close your eyes if you feel comfortable with it, and tune into the sensations of your body, and recognize what feelings exist in the various parts of your body. So like you can say, my neck is feeling tight right now, and don't try to change it, or don't try to understand it. Just tune in and perceive the feelings. I hope I'm making sense, but I'm gonna start a timer right now for 5 minutes. I'm gonna play this music in the background. to return, I want you to know that when you're in a stress state, whether it's sympathetic or dorsal vagal, that's a state of anxiety or fear, or somehow feeling, some part of you not feeling safe. To do the work, to remind yourself that you are okay, takes energy. It's hard work. It takes a leap of faith, and your brain is going to resist. It's gonna want to return to self-protection. So whenever you're wanting to return to safety, to feeling like you're okay, and you feel really tired afterwards, that's normal. It's normal. We have a few minutes. If anybody would like to share any thoughts, what I want you to practice, or what I would invite you to practice over the next 2 weeks, we're going to meet again in 2 weeks, is recognize what state you're in. Is it stress and anxiety state, or is it low depression state? And see if you can practice the things we learned today. Open hum for upregulation, and physiological sigh for downregulation. And then don't try to change how you feel. Just practice those strategies, and then see how your day goes afterwards, and practice as many times as you can. But I would encourage you to practice at least once a day. Okay? Whenever is a good time for you, you notice how you feel, and then decide which one is best for you. I want to remind you that we have an Instagram page where I post updates about our calls, sometimes some inspirational quotes and things. Miss Carla, my cat, just did the same thing. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. That's wild. Your cat just did the same thing. Wow, cats are the best. Dogs are too. Same link to the next call. Follow me on Instagram, please. I would love that. And let's close with a prayer. And we're going to pray. It's going to be a prayer of gratitude, because, dear God, thank you for this wonderful, amazing group on this call today. So open, so vulnerable, so loving, so kind, wanting to be here and share, and open to healing. We thank you for each other. Thank you that you've sent each other on our path in this journey of life and of healing. Thank you that you brought us together. Thank you for the pain, the message. Thank you for giving us tools to help heal and feel better. Thank you for the love that you always have for us, and we always know that you have love, that there is love for us, that we are loved fundamentally. If by no one else, then it is by you. And you teach us to love ourselves and each other. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of food and water and shelter, and for the gift of love for each other on this call. Amen. I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. And have a good night.